around the world. And he was telling everybody how wonderful Yerushalayim is, and the greatness of Yerushalayim, and the holiness of Yerushalayim, the special nature of Yerushalayim, which it is. It's all true. It's all true. And then somebody shows up in Yerushalayim. I think it was a person either from the United States or from England. I don't remember the details. And they spend a little time in Yerushalayim, and they go over to Rav Kook and they say, "What are you talking about? I never met so many troubled people in my life. I've been in Jerusalem for the last 3 weeks. You're telling me this is the city of cities? You know, I walk over here and I see this person dealing with this issue and that person dealing with that issue. And what are you talking about? This is the great city." And Rav Kook explained to him that that's exactly what Yerushalayim is about. Yerushalayim is the haven of the whole world. Yerushalayim is the city where anybody with any issue, from any background, all the Jewish people, and we have a tradition, not only the Jewish people are coming to Yerushalayim, everybody's coming to Yerushalayim. Because Jerusalem represents that special nature of the blessing of God, where everyone feels comfortable in the city of God. It says in the Gemara that in Yerushalayim there was a special custom. I'm sure it's observed today also. In Yerushalayim of yesteryear, and Bezrat Hashem of today and of tomorrow as well, everyone knew that they were welcome in the homes of the people of Yerushalayim. So the Gemara teaches in Masechet Bava Batra, the rabbis teach, that there was a special sign outside the doors of the households of Yerushalayim. Od minhag gadol hayav Yerushalayim. There was this great custom in Yerushalayim. May it be reinstituted this evening. Great custom in Yerushalayim. What was the custom? When you walked by a home in Yerushalayim, you were able to tell when they were eating supper. You were able to tell when they're eating dinner. And they would hang a tablecloth outside the door. When you walked by and you saw a tablecloth, it meant, "Please join us. Come in mealtime. Join. Please come in Yerushalayim. Od minhag gadol hayav Yerushalayim." The minhag gadol Yerushalayim was mapa prusa al gabei habayit. There was this mapa. There was this big tablecloth. Everyone associates tablecloths, I think, with tables and with eating. Kol zman shemapa prusa orachim nichnasin. Everybody knew they're welcome to Yerushalayim. The tablecloth hanging outside indicated that anyone who wants to join is most welcome to join. Have you ever walked the streets of Yerushalayim on Sukkot? I'm sure many of you have been there on Sukkot. If not, I hope you'll be there this coming Sukkot. You ever see signs in Yerushalayim? Sukkah shel Chesed? You ever see that sign? Many places in Yerushalayim. Maybe you have in Pittsburgh also, I don't know. You have Sukkah, what? Maybe this Sukkot, everybody's not in Yerushalayim. But there are signs in many places in Yerushalayim. There are signs outside of a Sukkah. Like anybody wants to, there are many people come to Yerushalayim on Sukkot. Many people, the whole Chol HaMoed. Many, tens and tens of hundreds of thousands of people come through Jerusalem on Sukkot. So there are signs in many places. Join us in our Sukkah. Come in, say a bracha. Maybe you want something cold to drink. Join him. Open to everyone. Sukkah shel Chesed. All throughout Jerusalem. It's there. Did you ever go Shavuot morning? Shavuot morning? Ever privileged to be Shavuot at the Kotel in the morning? If you've never been there, it's the sight of a hall. I don't know, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. The streets of Yerushalayim are filled with people. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Many of those people study the whole evening on Shavuot. They walk from all over. It's a little far to walk from Pennsylvania, but it's with all the people in Yerushalayim, from all the communities, even communities they never walk, like from Neve Yaakov, from all Ramot. Streets of Yerushalayim are filled. 4 o'clock in the morning. It's beautiful. It's really one of the most beautiful times to be at the Kotel. One of the most beautiful times. Bezrat Hashem, this year won't only be in the Kotel, be with Mashiach in the Beit HaMikdash. It's so moving. It's so moving. I love the streets of Yerushalayim at 4 o'clock in the morning on Shavuot. I was walking to the Kotel on Shavuot. And there was a group of. I was learning at night in Rechavia, It's one of the communities in Yerushalayim. And I started walking to the kotel, and there was a whole group of young men who started singing and dancing. This was 4:10 a.m. They're singing and dancing, So I went over to them, and I said, Chag Sameach, right? Happy holiday. It's 4:10, it's like, So they said, Yerushalayim, Shavuot. I said, yeah, I know, but there are people sleeping, There are a lot of sleep. It's not an absolute requirement of the religion that you have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning on Shabbat. Yeah. They said, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. It's like we're so happy, like they were dancing. I said, I really don't understand. Can't you dance a little quieter? They said, I'm not on their level to understand the greatness of Yerushalayim. And it's true. I'm not on their level to understand the greatness of Yerushalayim. But you know what Yerushalayim? So what happens at the Kotel on Shavuot morning? So you have tens and tens of thousands of people there. And then at the end of the service, everybody's hungry, right? Everybody's thirsty. Shavuot. There are no stores. It's a holiday. Shavuot. So there's so many kind-hearted people in Yerushalayim Shel Chesed. You know what's going on? You know how many people distribute these little packages of food and drinks in the spirit of Malchit of the Lechem and Yayin for Kiddush? Countless amounts of varieties of food. Because Chesed and Yerushalayim are inseparable. Have you ever had the privilege of davening there in Yom Kippur? I have. You ever go to the Kotel in Yom Kippur afternoon? On the Day of Atonement? It's such a beautiful place to pray. And there are no buses after Yom Kippur. I mean, the first bus after Shabbat, I think, is free from the Kotel. That's a service that they provide. They understand that people don't carry money with them on Shabbat. The first bus after Yom Kippur, of course, is free. But it takes a while because the bus driver is not there when Yom Kippur is over. He also was observing Yom Kippur. So it takes a while until the first bus comes. A while. I mean, when I was there, I didn't want to wait for the bus. I didn't pay to wait for the bus because it was so. But everybody's so hungry. It's Yom Kippur. We just fasted for 25 hours. Wait to walk home. A half-hour walk, 45. Yerushalayim, Chesed of Yerushalayim and such. Just go to the Kotel. I'm not making this up. And there are people standing there, with foods and drinks and havdalah and all kinds of lechem v'yayin l'mineihem, because Yerushalayim is the place where everyone understands you have to take care of other people. One of the great miracles about Yerushalayim was that everybody felt comfortable in Yerushalayim. There was always enough room in Yerushalayim. In order to have room for guests and wayfarers, it's often a question of perspective rather than a question of physical space. If there's love, then there's room. Do you know how much love there is in Yerushalayim? You know how much love there is in the city of God? You know how much Yerushalayim fills its essence with the love of all of Am Yisrael? You know why Me'olam lo amar adam lahaviro tzar li hamakom shalom Yerushalayim? You know why no one ever complained about it's too crowded in Yerushalayim? Because everybody felt so much love in Jerusalem. No one ever felt that there was no room for them in Yerushalayim. No one ever complained that they felt too crammed or too crowded in the holy city of Yerushalayim. Because anyone arriving in Yerushalayim understood that Yerushalayim is beyond dimensions. It's beyond any physical dimensions. Remember the prophecy in the book of Zechariah, in the book of Zechariah? Prazot, Teshev, Yerushalayim. In the book of Zechariah, in the book of Zechariah, the great prophet has a vision. And he sees a man walking with some kind of measuring tool, a measuring line. I believe it's the second chapter of Zechariah. He sees a man walking with a measuring line, and he's going to measure the length and the breadth of Yerushalayim. He wants to see how big Yerushalayim is. And then there's a special message from God. The angel of God tells him, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. The angel of God explains to him that Yerushalayim is beyond dimension. Present! Teshev Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is wide open. It can't be measured. Yerushalayim is beyond physical limitations.